Man, what they do, man. Look at here, man. You got a loved one in prison, doing time in state and federal, especially in the feds. Look at here. Send them a copy of Street Elements magazine with the #1 magazine publication in the nation, hands down. Make sure you send your people one. They're going to love it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. I'm on the phone right now with an official homie out of Alabama, man. Go ahead and say who you is, man, so your people know who you is out there, man. He's official homie out of Alabama, man.
Man, this your official homie out of Alabama, man. Jamal Johnson, man, a.k.a. Two Head, man.
Two Head, now me and Two Head been going back and forth, just chopping it up, and man, come to find out, he had you had what, over 100 years?
Yeah, over 100 years, man.
So explain that to the people, man, and let them see how these people play, man, and actually give you 100 years. Because a lot of y'all don't know that you out here in the streets, man. These people will give you 100 years like it ain't no problem. This man actually done fought his way back to the streets, you know what I'm saying? The man finna go home, but it was a hard fight. How long you done did all together?
Man, all together, man, I did 26 years, bro.
So 26 years in the Fed. How you was when you left?
I was 20.
So
I was 20.
So
20 years old, man.
So 20 years old.
A young 20-year-old man with no sense, no type of direction, man, just live just in the streets, man.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, home. I'm gonna let you go ahead and time in so the people can really feel your story, man. Kind of let them know who you is, how you ended up with them 100 years.
Man, I was a young cat, man, in the street, man, doing a whole bunch of wild things and stuff, man, trying to live that life, man, trying to make a name for myself, man. We end up getting into some things, man, and I got caught up in like a conspiracy to commit armed robbery of an automobile, like 5 counts of conspiracy to commit robbery of automobile, 5 counts of robbery, 5 counts of 924C.
5 counts of 924C?
Yeah, them gun counts, man. I ended up being sentenced in January of 99, man. I ended up being sentenced to 188 months. 188 months for the 5 conspiracies and the 5 robbery counts. They were ran together. And I ended up getting sentenced to 120 months for the 5 924C counts, the gun counts, man, running wild. 5 for the first one and 20 years for each additional one.
Running wild.
Running wild, yeah. So I ended up 1,208 months. Most people don't even know what that is for real, man. You gotta sit there and figure that out. But that's 100 years and 8 months in federal prison. Yeah.
Man, how was it once you got sentenced to that amount of time, man? I mean, what was going through your head?
Well, first of all, it was like I knew I was gonna get sentenced to some, and to keep it 100 with you, I was expecting a life sentence because they had already told me if I didn't tell on nobody and I went to trial and I got found guilty, I was gonna get a life sentence for the charges. And so I end up, and actually this is real right here, man. When I got sentenced, I actually thought that I had got a sweet sentence, man. By me being so young, I ain't know what 1,208 months were because at the end of the sentence, the judge gave me probation. So now I'm gonna give you 5 years unsupervised probation. So when he sentenced me that day, I walked back to the tank and I asked the dude how much time that was. He said, man, that's 100 years and 8 months. And I said, what the fuck? It fucked me up, man. So I went and hollered back for the lawyer, man. And he was like, man, yeah, man, that's 100 years and 8 months. So I'm like, what the hell he give me 5 years supervised probation for? That's a fucking life sentence. That's a death sentence. He was like, man, that's how the system go. So through the years, man, I don't seen a lot of cats coming here with that 924C, man. That's the most dangerous thing out right now.
And you think the government gonna use that 924C with a lot of these guys out here now since the violence done went up with guns? You think that's like a strategic plan that they're gonna use those type of statutes to give these guys a whole bunch of time? Cause there's a lot of violence on the street now, man. It's probably 10 times worse than from when you left.
Yeah, I see it, man. See the government right now, like I say, the gun with all the shootings at these schools, these mad shoes and stuff. So if you ever look at some of that stuff, man, you'll never see a black person do that. You'll never see a black person run up and I ain't gonna say I've never seen it, but you very so often see a black dude commit them kind of crime. So that push back on all the dudes that get caught with these weapons. Right. So the thing is, we got to do something about. They saying we got to do something about these weapons. So when Trump was in office, that one thing I can say that he did. He pushed for this law to be changed. Like, man, cause most dudes we can go commit 2 robberies the same day, or we can commit them today. We can go tomorrow. We can go a week from now. We can go, and once they put that all in that same indictment, it's like each time you committed that robbery, they can charge you a 5, a 20, a 20, a 20, a 20. They keep tacking on to that. But now, when it's all put in the same indictment, they can't give you no. They still punish you for it, but they just give you 5 for your first time. 5, 5, 5, 5. But if you come in here and do 5 years for them gun counts, and then you come back out there, it's a mandatory 20 years, man. A mandatory 20 to 25 years. No less. You can't get nothing time off in the cop a plea. It's mandatory, man. So that's the plan that they got, man, right now.
So basically,
I advise all dudes, even if you're selling drugs, you can make a drug sale with that. You can make a drug sale with that gun tucked on your waist. It's still the same thing, man. You're still gonna be punished for it, bro.
So basically, if a guy have a convicted felon already and he had a gun charge, and then he get out of prison and get back in the streets, get back active, and the people throw down on him again and he have a gun charge, a gun or something with him in the commission of a crime, they're gonna punish him for it.
Most definitely. That's a mandatory 25, 20 to whatever sentence you got coming for whatever crime you committed. It can't never be ran together or none of that. It's mandatory. That gun mandatory, bro.
So I got a question for you. Say like Crip Mac, for instance, the guy out of California. He just got picked up by the feds for having a gun, a felon in possession of a firearm, and he got priors. You know,
man, that's the worst thing, man. For real, you don't want no parts of that right now. I swear, bro, Casey, you do not want no parts of that, man. You don't want man with convicted felon with a gun or any kind of charge with a gun right now, man. You done been in here before, man. You might well say, man, especially you up in age, it's a bad look, man. For real, it's a bad look, bro. Yeah. In my situation, they came and got me 2-3 years later. So it wasn't no gun. I ain't get caught with no gun. I ain't get caught with nothing. I'm charged with aiding in the bed. Aiding in the bed in a 924C, which means that I had knowledge. One of my co-defendants had the gun. Mm-hmm. So that's how I end up with all my time.
So your co-defendant can have the gun and you can still get charged with the same gun?
Most definitely. Man, you can go right now. Man, you can jump in the car. And I can say, Casey, let's run over here to this store. We go to this store. You let me out the car. I go in there and rob this store. Come back, get in the car with you. Then they say, we can ride for a couple hours. You don't know what's going on. Say, man, let's go pull over at this store right here. Let me get something to smoke, man. Get something to drink. I go in there and rob that store. Come back, get in the car with you. Just say we do that 4 times. And I can get caught a year later. And I can say, which I wouldn't do, but the normal person do it. They're about going to say, man, KC knew what was going on, man, when I was robbing that store. You right there along with the crime. They're going to charge you with that gun. Because this aiding in the bed, they're going to say you had knowledge of what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So you hit with that crime. You hit with them gun counts. And you ain't had no knowledge of it. Even if you go to trial and try to fight it, the person that you with, he get up there and say, yeah, he had knowledge. He knew I had a gun. You burnt, man. You scarred.
So in your situation, did you go to trial or you caught that to a plea?
No, I went to trial. I went a 3-day trial, bro. Had a 3-day trial. Yeah. Got found guilty after 3 days. No evidence that I was at the scene. No nothing, man. It was just co-defendant testimony.
Right. So I got another question for you. So when you first got indicted, man, what was going through your mind? Like, cause I know it was way different. You did state time before in Alabama, right?
Yeah, I did state time before.
So how was it different when the people put their hands on you Did you go straight to a magistrate, straight to a courtroom that same day when they arrested you?
Now, actually, bro, I was already in the county jail for first-degree murder. I was already down in the county jail. So they came, got me. I got locked up December 9th, 1997. Well, I turned myself in on a first-degree murder charge. And I was already sitting there. And the feds coming out in June of 98. They called me down to the visitation room like I had a attorney visit. And there was a pretrial lady down there. And she told me, she said, I walked in there, she said, I'm here with the federal pretrial. I said, well, what they got to do with me? So I got up and walked out. And she was like, nah, she said, you been indicted on some federal charges. I said, for what? So I ain't got no federal charge. She said, all your homeboys and your friend downstairs in Booking. Said, all y'all been charged with federal crime. And so after that, I looked, I said, man, I'm finna walk out. I don't know what you, and she called my social security number. Gave my date of birth, social security, and I stopped. And she said, I'm here to try to help you. And man, that was it, bro. From that point on, man, it was me and like about 8 more other guys. Yup.
So how was that whole experience, man? Actually going through that trial process, going through the discovery. I mean, how that was for you, different from the state?
See, different from the state because, like, the state you can go fight these charges because it ain't no evidence. The state ain't got these kind of laws that the Fed got, aid and abetting, conspiracy, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like most times in the state, you got a murder case, they ain't got no gun, they ain't got no case. You see what I'm saying? But in the Feds, it ain't no evidence on the table. It's just word of mouth. Somebody gonna cop a plea, somebody gonna work for the government, somebody gonna get a spiel, and that's how you end up getting popped. But at the end of the day, my situation was, I was young, man, I was wild.
Right.
Like, and I ain't believe nothing. I was untouchable. You see what I'm saying? And I'm looking at it like, man, they ain't got nothing, ain't no gun, ain't nobody here to identify us, ain't nobody here to say we did this and that. It's just my word against my co-defendant word. And man, they ended up convicting me, man. And I was wrong from that point, boy. And ever since then, I've been here, man, fight for my life, bro.
Right. When you first got in, did you know anything about the law?
No, man. Right, when I first came in, man, most of I wanted to, like what dudes do nowadays, they smoke, man, they get high, they try to escape this and feel like once they get high, they escaping it. But when the high come down, you stood right here. It ain't going nowhere. So I used to walk with the dudes. At the time, my mama was working, so I always leaned on my mama. I leaned on a couple friends or whatever, and I would like just do things, man, to try to escape. You know what I'm saying? Get high. And then I went to a dude, I'll never forget, man. It was in 2002, man. I got transferred out to Beaumont USP. It was called Bloody Beaumont back then. And I went to a dude, man. I said, man, this my case right here, man. And I want you to work on it. I want you to help me. I ain't know nothing about the law. Didn't know nothing about my situation. All I know was I had 100 years and 8 months. And I gave him my paperwork. He looked at me. He said, man, I'm not finna help you do nothing. So you finna go down there and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did, man. That made me go to the law library, man. And I learned everything I had to learn. But I was still on a bad track because I still felt like it was a game. Like, man, these people gonna let me go. Shit, man, the feds ain't finna let you go.
Unless you learn their language.
Like, you ain't pushing for it, you ain't trying for it. Shit, long as you sitting here and don't do nothing, they gonna let your ass sit in this motherfucker and die in this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, that's right, man. Y'all need to hear this, man. You need to hear what he's saying, man. These people do not play, man. I mean, one costly decision, you out here running around in the streets, you don't know what you're getting involved in, you know, because you really haven't been approached by these people to know what type of rules and regulations you done broke. And then when they put their hands on you, it's going to be a tough fight just to come back out here to your people, man. You know?
Man, most definitely that, bro. It's a real tough fight. Like these people, like the government, when they say in the state, they about to say United States versus, the state of such versus such. In the feds, it's the United States versus you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they got all the ammunition they need to punish you.